Is there someone who hurt you maybe a long time ago, and even today, just hearing their name or thinking about what they did still gives you that tight feeling in your stomach? It might be an ex who broke your trust, a parent who let you down, a friend who betrayed you, or even yourself for things you wish you had done differently. And you've tried to move on. You keep telling yourself, I should be over this by now. What's wrong with me? But the resentment is still there. And it steals your peace, keeps your body tense, messes up with your sleep, and slowly it drains the joy out of everyday life. Here is what almost nobody says out loud. I really don't want to forgive them. And that anger, resentment you're still carrying is not protecting you anymore. It is actually lowering your healing energy. It's just weighing you down, like walking around with a heavy backpack full of sharp rocks that only you can see and feel. What if you could finally put that weight down? What if forgiveness is not about saying what they did was okay, but about giving yourself the permission to feel lighter and happier now in this moment? And what if the real key is not forcing yourself to forgive and let go, and learning a gentler, more powerful way to let go and forgive? If any of this feels true for you, you're in the right place. Welcome to Baggage Begun, Healing Hearts and Minds. I am Tami Mahmali, and this is episode number 108, Why You Cannot Forgive Them and Why It Is Still Controlling Your Life. Today we are going to talk about why forgiveness feels so hard, heavy, and share one simple tool that can guide you to finally release this heavy weight. If you would like to learn more, I will see you in episode 108. This podcast is for the soul who knows there is more, the one who's been carrying it all for far too long. If you're ready to let go of old stories, to stop replaying the past and start living from your truth, you're in the right place. This is your moment to release the noise and reconnect to what's real. Welcome to Baggage Begun, Healing Hearts and Minds. I'm Tami Mahmali. Hey there, welcome back or welcome for the first time to Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Mind. I'm Tami Mahmali and I want to thank you for being here. If you're new here, this is the place where we gently unpack the emotional, mental baggage that's been slowing us down, quieting the noise in our minds and stepping into lighter, freer version of ourselves, baggage free. But most importantly, this is where we go deeper than just talking about healing. We actually work at the level where real change happens in the subconscious mind. But more importantly, we dive deeper than just talking about healing and shifting and transforming. We actually talk at the level where real change happens, the subconscious mind. Whether you're healing from heartbreak, family wounds, betrayal at work, or even the quiet regrets that you have been carrying about your own choices, we are in this together. No judgment, there is no right and wrong, just real talk and practical tools that can guide you to live life freer, better, and in peace. If you're a returning listener, thank you for showing up again. You being here means a lot. Means everything. So please grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive in, because today's topic might just be the one that's been holding more of us back than we realize. And I'm talking a lot usually about forgiveness because this is one of the first process that I do in Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds method, because I believe this is how we clean the slate, we clean the canvas so we can create new art piece. Why it's hard to forgive? If you don't release this resentment, anger, worry that you have, whatever happened with you and the other person, it doesn't stay just in the past. It will show up in your relationships, your health, your decision making, and your ability to trust. Basically, it affects how you love, how you receive, and how you show up in your life. Everything that is hoarding your energy, it lowering your healing capacity, bringing depression, anxiety, and other physical ailments. I'm bringing it up earlier in this episode because I want you to think about that. Maybe if you know what's happening with your energy when you hoard anger, resentment, it will help you to let go. Now, is there someone in your life whose name still makes your stomach tighten a little? Maybe it is an ex who betrayed your trust, a parent who wasn't there when you needed them most. Maybe it's a friend who gossiped behind your back, or even yourself for the choices you wish you could take back, and maybe you think you could do it differently. If your answer is yes, you're not alone. Research shows that most of us struggle with forgiveness far more than we admit to ourselves. So why is it so hard to forgive? Now, let me tell you, when I recorded my other episodes about forgiveness, I thought it's not as difficult it should be, right? We just forgive, because I was so desperate that I just forgave. I realized that my life is no longer working unless I forgive other people. So I started using it and it became easier. But then I started working with other people and I realized it's not as easy as I thought it is. That's why I decided to write this episode. So everything I'm talking about here is from experience. Now, first, our brains are literally wired against forgiveness in the moment that we feel the hurt or the anger of someone's doing something to us. When someone betrays us, the amygdala, the part of the brain that has the alarm system, it lights up like a fire drill. It screams, "Hello! Threat! Protect me! Protect yourself!" Forgiveness requires the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that is rational, the calm part, to step in and say, wait, maybe we can release this. But that takes effort, and our survival brain would rather hold the grudge, the resentment as armor. We feel we have power, it's our ego, but we think, oh, I'm so powerful when I do that. So studies using brain imaging show that rehearsing it, thinking about the hurt over and over, it's lowering our healing energy. It's raising stress hormones like cortisol. So if you cannot lose weight or you cannot sleep, it's because the stress hormone is raising up. Second, forgiveness is mostly an emotional process, not just a logical one. You can decide to forgive with your head. I know I should let this go. I know, but your heart and your body might still be screaming, no way, I'm not gonna give it to them. No, I'm not gonna forgive them. They don't deserve it. I hear it with my clients. They are oftentimes, they don't deserve my forgiveness. That gap between wanting to forgive and actually forgiving and feeling it, oh, it's the right time, it's exhausting. And it makes people feel like they are failing. This is where most people get stuck because the energy there cannot flow freely and you're in a loop. You wake up in the middle of the night, you think about it. No, I'm not going to forgive them. They don't deserve it. Let's forgive them. And then again, you think about what's happened and you're like, I'm not going to forgive them. I'm not going to give them the power. And you think that you have power over them, but the truth is that you don't. Because forgiveness is not just a mindset shift. It's a subconscious process. The forgiveness goes deeper into your subconscious mind. And it's a process that you want to be ready. So I'm not asking you to forgive 5 minutes after something happened to you, but along the way, thinking about forgiveness as a way of healing yourself, opening up the energy. Here is the part most people miss. You're not holding onto the past when you're not forgiving because you want to. You're holding onto it because your subconscious mind believes it is still protecting you to keep the resentment, to not forgive. That resentment, that tension, that emotional reaction is so familiar that it feels like it's protecting you. It's like a stored pattern, attachment that you have to the feeling. And until that pattern is processed at the root, like you will figure out what the lesson, it does not go away. It just repeats itself like a loop, and you're gonna feel heavy. I have seen it again and again with my clients, with the people that I'm working with. The second they forgive, they feel lighter. There is a shift in energy. They can run, be, have, and do everything that they wanted to do. Third, oftentimes we mix up what forgiveness actually means. A lot of us think forgiving means saying, what you did was okay, or let's pretend it never happened. Don't worry, it's okay. Or I have to trust you again. No, none of that's true. Forgiveness is simply releasing yourself from the emotional prison of resentment. So you don't feel triggered every time you hear the person's name or you see them. It doesn't erase the past or excuse the behavior or require you reconciliation with them. It just means you are no longer letting the other person's reactions rent space in your head for free. You're not letting them occupy your mind, your body, and your soul. Other reasons it sticks, we crave justice or revenge. Our brain loves the idea of they should suffer too for what they did to me. Also, we are scared of being hurt again. We are human beings. We're very fragile. So we hold into the grudge like a shield. Sometimes the pain still feels fresh, even years later, because we keep replaying the movie in our mind and we keep talking about it. We keep telling people, listen, what so-and-so did to me, you don't know how painful it was. I did that for so many years. I wasn't ready to forgive. And no matter how many times I said I forgive you, I didn't forgive them until I did that in a very deep subconscious mind through hypnosis and energy work. Afterwards, I felt freedom. And if I remember, I'm not triggered. I can talk about it like a story. No more blaming or accusing other people, because the truth is that if we take 100% responsibility for our part, we will know that in our soul journey, there are signs that we attracted this energy from lifetimes or generations ago, and that's why we still feel this resentment. It's nothing to do oftentimes about the other person. And even if they did or say something to us, it's because we attracted it 100% through the energy, the beliefs, through the attachment and patterns, old patterns, stories that we have about ourselves. And they are just coming to show us as a mirror. They're just staying in front of us and showing us what's going on. And for deep family wounds or betrayals by people who were supposed to protect us, the hurt cuts even deeper because it shakes our sense of safety and identity. It's really shaken us because we believe that these people were supposed to be a safe place, supposed to protect us. If we stay in the resentment and anger for the longest time, the subconscious mind will think it's normal, and that's how we need to live our lives. So the sooner you forgive, the better. There is no right and wrong. And here is a powerful truth backed by research. Holding on to resentment, unforgiveness is not punishing the other person, it's punishing yourself. So if you don't want to forgive, think about yourself. Be selfish. Forgive for you. Sometimes forgiveness, you don't even need the other person to be in the room. I used to forgive people through meditation for years and doing the Hawaiian method, Ho'oponopono, to forgive other people without them knowing about it. Studies show that people who ruminate on grudge have higher blood pressure, more anxiety and depression, poorer sleep, and even increased risk of heart issues. And I talked about it earlier. It's to lower your healing energy. That's why you might have this physical ailment and health symptoms. When researchers had people recall a hurt while they're hooked up to monitors, their heart rate and stress responses spiked up. But when they practiced empathy or imagined forgiving the other person, their bodies calmed down almost immediately, and they could see it in the heart monitor. On the flip side, forgiveness is linked to better mental health, greater life satisfaction, lower stress, strong relationship, and even physical benefits. It's likely to improve your cholesterol and the immune function. People who learn to forgive report less depression, more hope, and surprising sense of freedom, and it's priceless. And if you think, you asked me to be weak, forgiving is strength. It's not weakness. It's one of the strongest things you can do for yourself and others. And you can be a magnet and show people how to do it. Most people try to forgive from their mind, from the logical mind. And I invite you to know that something else is possible. Because oftentimes people think that if they understand that, they can forgive and release it. But real forgiveness doesn't happen in your mind. It happens when you allow to tap into your subconscious mind where the emotional memory is stored, and then let it go by understanding the learning, the lesson. This is exactly why we do in my work, the Baggage Began Healing Heart and Mind method. We don't just talk about forgiveness. We actually go into the subconscious mind and release the emotional charge at the root. So you're not forcing yourself to forgive. When we do that through the deeper forgiveness, through the subconscious mind and learning the lessons, it just evaporates. It's dissolved by itself, because once the emotional baggage, the charge is gone, forgiveness happens easily and effortlessly. It's not an effort. It's just a result. Let me pause here and ask you, what's one grudge or hurt that's been really draining your energy lately, or something that happened a long time ago and you still think about it? You can have just a name of someone. Notice how your body feels when you think about this incident, about the person, about whatever happened. That's the baggage talking to you. And that's good news. You don't have to carry that forever. And here we're going to use one helpful tool. I really recommend if you can write down or take notes. All right, let's make this practical. One of the most effective evidence-based tools for building forgiveness is the Reach Forgiveness Method, REACH. This method was developed years ago by psychological research. It's straightforward and easy to do. You can start using it today. And here how it works. I'm going to give you step by step. First of all, the R, it's recall the hurt. Be honest with yourself. Write it down. Speak it out loud to someone, or write it down for yourself in your journal. You don't need to be dramatic about it. Just write what's happened. Get clear on what happened. That's it. Very simple. Keep it simple. So we did the R for recall. E for empathize. Empathize with the person who hurt you. Bring compassion in. This is the hard but transformative part. Ask what might have been going on in their life. What pain or brokenness in them led to this event. You don't have to excuse it. You're just trying to see them as a vulnerable human beings, not a monster. Because research shows empathy is a game changer for shifting from resentment to forgiveness. And I use a lot of compassion when I think about the other person who did that. God knows what they went through. Now, the third part is A, altruistic gift. Decide to offer forgiveness as a free gift, not because they earn it or deserve it, but because you want to be the kind of person who gives what they hope to receive someday. This act flips the script from they owe me, who the hell they think they are, from the ego place, to I'm choosing to forgive in order to be free. That's a very powerful step. The step number 4 is the C, commit. Publicly or in writing. I usually do writing. Write a letter. You don't have to send it. Or tell a friend, I am choosing to forgive so-and-so for the hurt they did, and write down. Commitment makes it stick in your memory. So whatever you're committing to do, gonna make it stronger for you. So you can write down that I am choosing to forgive so-and-so for this hurt that they caused me. And that's your commitment. The 5th part is the H in the reach. Hold on to forgiveness. When the old feelings creep back up, and they will, Gently remind yourself of your commitment to forgive. Don't beat yourself up. There is no right and wrong. Forgiveness is a process. It's not something that you can do one-time event. Over time, the emotional charge fades. This is a great starting point. It will guide you to bring awareness and shift perspective. And believe it or not, sometimes when it's really difficult for me to forgive people, I pray for them for 2 weeks. I ask God to come and help us to forgive. But if you notice the feeling is still there, even after doing all the stuff we talked about, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means the emotional pattern is still stored deeply and needs to be processed, not just understood. And if you need help, please contact me. I would love to guide you. Maybe you need to go through hypnosis and see what's happened lifetimes ago, generations ago. Try this with smaller hurt first, like something really small, not big, overwhelming, not trauma. Because many studies show that working through models like this reduce anger, anxiety, and depression while increasing hope and self-esteem. What do you think about that? Could you see yourself trying even one step this week from the REACH method that I showed you? I would love to hear in the comments or reviews what your recall, the R steps, bring up. What was the hurt? And if you want something simple to start with, go listen to one of my episodes on Ho'oponopono. It's the wonderful Hawaiian forgiveness method that built around 4 phrases. I am sorry for attracting this energy. Please forgive me. Thank you for the lessons and I love you. And you say it over and over. You rehearse it until you no longer feel the heaviness, the charge, the triggers. It might sound very basic, but what it actually does is help release mental and emotional patterns at a deeper level, not just in your thoughts, and this is backed by research. I explain it fully in that episode and how to use it properly, so if it resonates, go listen to one of my episodes about Ho'oponopono. Now, my friend, here is the gentle truth. You deserve to walk lighter, to have your serenity and freedom. Those rocks in your backpack, the resentment, the anger, the hurt, they don't define you or your future. So forgiveness is not about other people and what they did to you. It's about you reclaiming your peace, you taking 100% responsibility for whatever happened to you, for your energy and your heightened mind, your beautiful self. It might take time. It's a process. It might feel messy. Some days you will feel it fully. Other days the old anger will whisper again. That's okay. You're human. There is no right and wrong, and healing is not linear. I recommend you start small. Pick one step from the REACH method I gave you. Breathe into the discomfort and remember, every time you choose to release even little resentment, anger, you're not just healing yourself, you're modeling a freer way of living for everyone around you and your kids, your friends, your family. It takes one person to change for the surrounding to evolve. If you're ready to release the mental and emotional baggage at the root, not just understand it, this is exactly the work we do here in the Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds, and I would love to hear from you. I will guide you to clear the mental and emotional baggage that's stored in your subconscious mind through hypnosis and energy work, so you can finally feel freer, clear, and fully yourself again. If this episode stirred something in you, do 2 things for me. Please, first, share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Second, please take 60 seconds right now and ask yourself, what would my life feel like if I carried just a little less baggage today? How my life would look like if I was baggage free? Thank you for trusting this space with your heart. You're doing the brave work. Until next time, keep releasing what no longer serves you and watch how much lighter you become. This is Tami Mahmali. I'm grateful that you are here, sending you so much love. If this resonates, please leave a review, subscribe, and join our community for more tools. Sending you love. See you next week. Thank you for being here.
If you're curious and want to dive deeper, you are in the right space. I ask you to look within for all the things that you want to do, be, and have. Join me at the Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds podcast with new episodes every Wednesday as we discover the path towards healing and transformation.